Highlander and I are just going to do our video, our predictions video, because we have champs, and that's all we have. That's all we got left in the docket. Nothing's really happened. There's been no moves. There's been no drama. There's been no. It's just kind of preparation for champs. So, without further ado, what I'm going to do is put up our watch party tab here. Look at this, and we're gonna be here. We're gonna be up here in the little boxes here as we predict all of our choices. So, looking at my screen right now, winners round 1. Champs obviously only having 8 teams, so we only have people in the winners round. There's nobody in the losers elimination round. So teams truly have a two loss. You need to lose twice in order to get knocked out of champs. So, without further ado, let's kick this off. Atlanta FaZe versus the Seattle Surge. I think it's pretty simple here. Seattle hasn't been looking very good as of late anyway. And I'm just going to call it a straight dominant 3-0 smoke show from Atlanta FaZe.
Before we get this started, can I just point out?
Sure.
Let's just hope that you have a better performance than you did last time.
Yeah.
Because
last.
I don't know what you woke up with last week.
It's all because I had Florida beating Optic, which I was right about. But that just flipped my whole mindset into thinking upset after upset after upset, and I let it go out of control. And
I remember when you hit the save, you were a little shaky of not wanting to hit that save button.
I almost didn't save it, and then changed it, and then saved it. I almost did, but we were live, recording live, but we were on recording. I couldn't do that. It was on the VOD. Anyway, so Highlander and I. We auditioned. We put in our names to be a watch party for the COD champions. I don't think it's going to happen. I haven't heard anything back from them, but it was a long shot anyway. But anyway, Highlander, what do you have for this first matchup here? Atlanta FaZe versus Seattle Surge.
I'm going a hot 3-1.
3-1. Okay, you're giving Seattle some life here.
I think Seattle wins the Surge.
Okay, that's possible. Because last major, Atlanta was looking very. Not rough, but they couldn't close out a search. Not close out. They couldn't close out one. They were at 5-2 or 5-1. But yeah, so if Atlanta comes out with their same old search and destroy prowess, then I think this champ is going to be just a fraud. Not a fraud, but like a wash. I honestly think this Atlanta's going to run wild with it. So keep us going, Highlander.
This is the one that was really hard for me.
It's gonna be hard.
Because I have to go with my gut over my heart.
Yep.
And with that, I'm giving this also a 3-1.
Oh, also for who?
Toronto.
Okay.
I got to go Toronto here. I just feel on land, Toronto is just they're that team.
Yeah. I can see that. As for me, I think I'm going to go the opposite direction. I think LA Thieves are going to be, they want revenge. Draza wants some revenge against Scrap, against all of Toronto, the entire city of Toronto, pretty much. And with it not being in Toronto, I think that highly favors the Thieves. It's closer to LA. It's really far away from Toronto, so you're not going to have many Toronto supporters there. They always show up a little bit, but I'm going to go with a 3-2 in favor of the Los Angeles Thieves. So yeah, I think they're going to come out a little different. I think they're really going to dial up their intensity here. I think Draza honestly has a standout performance in this first game at least, because like we said, he's been taking a lot of flack for playing the villain and then being mad that people are getting mad at him for playing the villain, and I think he's been just getting hounded with criticism over the past couple of weeks, and I think he's going to be angry and he's going to be fired up. So, but moving down here, we've got Optic Texas versus my wannabe Major 5 winner Boston Breach, and with Boston Breach making that ridiculous change for Snoopy, I don't think they stand a chance against Optic. I think Optic really come in. They have to. They have to come in different. They have to come in focused. Take no prisoners. They can't they can't. No one is a light competition at this champs. So, and I think they know that. So, I have a hot 3-0 here for Optic, winning against Breach. Hylander, what about you?
I do think Optic does it.
Yep.
But I'm going to have it as a 3-2.
3-2. Oh, wow.
I think Optic is going to show that they still have some struggles. There's still something that they don't have perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they just get through with the search.
Mm.
Going into New York versus Minnesota,
mm-hmm.
I honestly think this will be a lot closer than people think.
It could be.
But I think it's going to be a close 3-1 for New York.
Close 3-1. Yeah, I mean, this was the losers final matchup for round 5 or major 5. So this already has some storylines coming. I mean, just like the Thieves Ultra has storylines coming out of that one. Not so much rivalry type storylines for this, but yeah, I mean, as for me, I have Subliners taking it, but I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be a 3-2 in favor of New York.
Yeah, like I said, I think it'll be a close. For me, it's a close 3-1 where like it's not like blowout games.
Right.
It's
close. Yeah. So as for me, I've got 3-0, 3-2, 3-0, 3-2. So
far, we only have one thing different.
We only have one thing. That's true. We only have the Thieves Toronto.
This is where everything breaks for us very soon. Don't worry.
Pretty much, yeah. So sticking with the elimination round 1, we only have 2 matches to get through, which is nice. Seattle versus Toronto, and this is going to sting for either team, honestly. I mean, I think it'll sting less for Seattle because their players have greener pastures than Toronto's does, I think, which is weird to say. But I'm going Toronto here 3-1. And Surge is going to get knocked out of champs. So, like I said, I don't see the fire, the passion from Surge anymore. I mean, the whole thing about them almost losing Pred to Optic way back after Major 2, I think it's just gotten in their head of, yeah, Pred, sure, he likes us. Like, he's a great teammate. But
he's gone next season.
Yeah, he's gone somewhere. I mean,
yeah, he's leaving no matter what. If it's not Optic, it's going to be FaZe or something like that.
Right, because I mean, he can't carry this franchise forever unless somehow Seattle spend the big bucks and they get other people. But I just don't see it happening. I see him going to a place that has a better foundation, a better backing, whatever. So that's my take on elimination round 1 here. Hylander, what about you? Who do you got?
So I have Thieves versus Surge.
Oh, you do? It's true. Yes.
I think the scoreline is correct.
Okay.
I have 3-1 for LA though.
3-1 for LA. Right.
I just same as you. I just think that the Surge I think Pred just wants out.
Yeah.
And I think the players around him know he wants out. And I think that they just don't have that complete chemistry anymore. Like they know that next season the team's going to be different.
Yeah.
And I think that because of that, they leave champs very early. Boston versus Minnesota. This is actually a hard one for me.
It's hard.
But is Beans still on the start of the team?
He is.
Beans is still starting?
Yep.
That's all I needed to hear. 3-2 Boston.
3-2 Boston. Just
that's all Beans. It's Beans. I'm telling you, Beans is going to get them past Minnesota.
Okay. Maybe. I don't see it happening that way, unfortunately. This could be hard if they had their original roster. Well, not their original roster. This could be hard if they kept Vivid. If they kept Vivid, this would be a very hard matchup for me. But since they dropped Vivid, they have no interest in Nero coming back. And they picked up a Challengers player to not only play Optic, winners round 1, but to then drop down and either face Subliners or Rocker. Those are the 2 matches that you don't want to see coming into the league, especially for champs. If Snoopy starts out anything but even, then it's really bad news bears for the Boston Breach. And I think that happens, unfortunately. I mean, no matter how good Snoopy is, I just don't think that with a couple of weeks of practice and with champs on the line, on the biggest stage of the year, I don't think he's going to perform, and I don't think the team's going to perform. So I'd see an easy 3-1 Minnesota Rocker.
And this is where our brackets start to get a little interesting.
It does. I mean, like I said, if Boston didn't change, maybe Boston beat them. But since they changed, and I mean, such a bonehead mistake in my personal opinion. Like, I don't know. Why not run it back with Nero again? I mean, what's gonna unless there was some crazy internal stuff happening. That must be what happened with Nero and the Boston Breach camp. But yeah, I don't know. I don't understand it. I'll never understand it. And yeah, so let's move on here. Winners round 2: Atlanta FaZe, Los Angeles Thieves for me. I know it's FaZe Ultra for you. And honestly, I'm leaning FaZe this time because what FaZe showed me at Major 5, they got their hard point under wraps. Their search was a little lacking, which is why they lost in the final. They lost every single search. Unacceptable. They know that. They have the coaching staff to turn it around. They have the players to turn it around. If Slasher especially continues the form that he was in at Major 5, Atlanta FaZe are going to run away with this champs. As much as I don't want to say it. I see a 3-1 for the Atlanta FaZe over the Thieves.
Okay.
Hylander?
Well, I have FaZe Ultra.
Mm-hmm.
And because it's FaZe Ultra, I think this game will be insane. I think the series will be really good.
I think my 3-1. I think my 3-1 for FaZe is close. I just want to say that I think it is close. It's not a crazy discrepancy, but yeah, I think the 3-1 is close. But you think it's going to be an absolute banger 3-2 series, huh?
3-2 series
round 11
for FaZe. Close to it.
Close to it. Yeah.
Depends on the map that they get for that. But I could see definitely going 3-2.
Mm-hmm.
Optic versus Subliners.
Mm-hmm.
I hate doing this, but I got New York taking it 3-1.
Ooh, spicy.
Just because New York won the last tournament.
Yeah.
I feel like New York, Hydra's been playing phenomenal.
He has been.
Actually, you know what? I can't even just say Hydra. All of New York has looked really good.
True. Their teamwork
very recently.
Their teamwork is unmatched. For sure.
That's why I have FaZe versus Subliners in the winners final. Which is a rematch of grand finals of the last one going on in the winners final.
Yeah, it is. It is. As for me and my Optic versus Subliners winners round 2. This is hard. It's hard. It's so hard because it's not as easy as it has been. Like Major 3, Major 4.
I don't want to go against Optic. I just feel like because New York is playing at the top of that they have, that's the only reason why I had to give it to them.
Yeah. No, I understand. But like Major 3 and Major 4 were so easy to predict. I mean, and I'm not saying that just because I predicted it correctly. I honestly think that just the storylines, the teams where they were at, it was such an easy script. It was such an easy script back in Major 3, Major 4. But now every team is finally hitting their peak. They're hitting their peak. They're hitting their stride. I mean, Optic has been on the decline, but I honestly think that was just a fluke. Now, unfortunately, there is some weird stuff going on in the Optic camp. Dan Ghosty was sick for a while. He's just gotten back over he was in the hospital. Like, he was that sick. He just got back from his sickness, and I think Hook is also sick, possibly. And like they're thinking of maybe taking on like TJ Haley as like a replacement, possibly. If Hook for some reason can't play, I don't know. I hope that doesn't happen. I haven't heard anything about roster updates or roster changes because of sickness. So
if that happens, then
Optic is chalked.
My winners round 1 might change even.
For sure. But I mean, I don't think as of right now that there's anything getting in the way of Optic's roster. So we're going under the assumption that Optic has their full roster. They're fine. And I had this in a grueler 3-2 because although New York is looking phenomenal, Hydra has been known to kind of have like a hot head not as of late, his entire career pretty much. I mean, he knows he's good. What?
It's an interesting.
Yeah. So I mean, especially coming off of an MVP for Major 5. I mean, who knows? I mean, it's Champs, so he might put down the gas pedal even more, which would be scary. But he might slack off a bit, or he might give some attitude to his team. Unfortunately, like so many things could happen that I don't know. And so yeah, I don't know. I see subliners not being as good as they were at the end of Major 5. I still see them being good. You will probably see me take them far, but I think Optic take it here. But that could easily flip flop.
And this is where our brackets are now officially completely different.
So Highlander, just like that. Elimination 2, go.
I've got Optic versus Thieves.
Mm-hmm.
In what is a crazy matchup.
Crazy.
But I think because of the fact that Optic just lost to New York,
the
same chain reaction happens again, where Optic just falls down the train into a very hungry Thieves team.
Oh, no.
That takes this 3-0.
Oh, my. Spicy.
It happened at Major 5. I think it happens again.
Yeah. That is spicy.
I just think Optic falls down again. They question what they did wrong. They don't know how they did it. And then they just fall 3-0 again.
Wow.
I just think it's one of those things where once this Optic, especially because I've noticed this Optic team. One thing about this Optic team that I have to say is they have a bad habit, except for that one major.
Right.
But besides that one major, they have a very bad habit of after they lose, especially if it's a bad loss, they then crumble immediately.
True.
And I think that happens in this tournament at Champs. Going on to Ultra versus Boston. Boston, thank you for coming, but that's a 3-0 Ultra.
Yeah.
That is that's the easiest 3-0 I could do right there.
Yeah, you're not wrong. And as you have Ultra moving on to Elimination Round 3, I had them facing the New York Subliners in Elimination Round 2.
You know what? That might be the hardest elimination match.
And I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be a New York Subliners 3-1 victory. I don't think Scrap will be able to contend with the likes of Hydra and Skies and Kismet. Yeah, so I think their Champs is done here, unfortunately. One of the most exciting teams all year. They won a major, and I mean, crazy enough, 4 teams have won majors this year, and they're all right here. Thieves, Ultra, Subliners. I mean, you have FaZe, and I mean, yeah. So they're all right here in our elimination round, and so not an easy victory from anyone. Not an easy loss.
My elimination round 3 is literally something that could be a grand final.
Oh, for sure. And any of these matchups could be a grand final. It really could.
Thieves Ultra could be a grand final matchup, but it's happening in elimination round 3.
It could be
for me.
Yes,
that's the insane part.
And so elimination round 2 for me, I have Thieves versus Rocker, and I mean Rocker. I'm sorry, I don't think Bance shows up. I think Thieves take this 3-0.
Oh, okay.
3-0, and I have Thieves Subliners.
That's
elimination round 3, which could be a grand final. Any of these things could be a grand final.
Again, we're at a place where it could be grand finals.
Exactly. So I'll keep it going here with the elimination round 3. Subliners, Thieves. Oh boy, this is hard. I see Thieves taking this 3-2.
Oh, okay.
I can see it. They hit their Champs form. Kylo Ken is back. He's burning. Okay. He's turning and burning. Draza's still, maintaining his good stuff. Octane is the human turret. I think they come out hot but close against a good New York team, and they push the elimination final. So, what about you, Highlander?
So, as everyone knows, round 1 of the winners bracket, of like the start of the tournament, we had Thieves Ultra.
That's true.
I had Ultra beat the Thieves. But now when it matters most, Draza is going to get his revenge in the hottest 3-1.
The hottest of 3-1s.
This will be the moment where, as you said, Octane shows up, Kylo Ken shows up, Draza shows up, Envoy shows up, everyone shows up and just goes off, and they make Ultra look like they shouldn't be there.
Oh. But Ultra take one map. Where they take the search?
They take the search.
Okay.
Respawns, I think LA just fries.
Yeah. Like, it's possible.
Hit
us with winner finals. FaZe subliners.
FaZe subliners. This is tough. But once again, I have something crazy going here. I have a 3-2 subliners.
Subliners. Oh my.
Subliners beat them back-to-back times.
Wow.
Sending the New York subliners to the grand final.
Ooh. Wow.
As
for me, I have Atlanta FaZe, Optic Texas.
So different.
And this is a banger. Well, it's a banger, but Optic Texas fall here. 3-1.
Oh.
They get gassed by the subliners.
The Tiny Terrors.
The 3-2 wears them out. They go up against Atlanta FaZe. They get put in their place. 3-1.
Okay.
Atlanta FaZe is through to the grand final. Elimination final.
Ooh,
here's where I have Optic versus Thieves.
Oh.
And here's the bang out of all bang outs. And, man. Just like you were saying, I think Thieves continue their momentum. And Optic just choke. 3-0.
Oh.
Thieves.
Oh, yeah. So they get burnt out from that 3-2. Then they just absolutely shredded by the Tiny Terrors.
Yep.
Drop down and then get right into the hot heat of the Thieves. Yeah, I can see it.
Now, Thieves could also be gassed from this 3-2 from the subliners. So this could be closer, but I still think the Thieves, they might just want it more over Optic. I don't know. I mean, it all depends on what Optic we see, but
especially because the Thieves have been trash talked a lot since Major 5.
Especially with the sicknesses coming in from Dan Ghosty and Hook, like they might not. Hook might not feel that well. You never know. I mean,
and yeah, it all depends. Especially, I just want to point out, look at the time of that elimination final. By the way,
what time is it? It's
9 p.m.
9 p.m. That's
a late night game, and if you're not feeling good, and depending on how delays go through the day, that could be even later.
There's no teams to scrimmage against either.
That's what I mean.
There's not. So
if you're not feeling good,
yeah,
and you're anywhere between 9 and 10 p.m. if your game starts, you could be chalked very quickly.
You could.
So yes, I do actually see that happening.
Yeah. So let's let me move us here a little bit. I'm gonna move us out of the way. Move us down here so we can see the grand final in all of its glory.
That's no problem. Your grand final is my elimination final.
Oh, you still have to do your elimination final, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Yes. So go for it. Your elimination final, sir.
So I think after the 3-2 loss, FaZe is going to be a little bit angry.
Yeah.
So they're going to start this off with a quick little 2-0.
Ooh.
Followed by a 3-2.
A reverse sweep.
Yes.
Wow.
I think FaZe will go up 2-0, get a little bit cocky, start shooting bodies. Kylo Ken takes it the wrong way.
Sure.
They come out, start frying them, turns around. Next thing you know, FaZe, goodbye. Once again, you came up short. We get Thieves subliners in the final.
In the final.
Oh, that's mine. Never mind.
Yours. That's yours.
Like, I looked over and I was like, "Wait, are we the same?" No, that's just that's still mine. I was like, "Wait,
we have one team the same."
I just think Thieves take a loser bracket push of craziness.
Yeah, they must. That's insane.
I just feel like this is the one that they do, and they make it here.
Yeah. So go for it. Grand final. Who you got?
Best of 9?
Oh, they're doing best of 9 this time. Oh, that changes things.
Oh, best of 9.
That means we're seeing all 3 control maps. There's no vetoing control.
Which means...
if you get to control, though. Thieves. 5-2. Wow.
I have Thieves winning it. They win champs back to back.
5-2.
That'd be back to back to back, wouldn't it?
Nope.
Wait.
Nope. FaZe won 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah. No, so yeah, it would be back to back.
Back to back. But, the last time the Thieves won champs besides last year was in Black Ops 4, I do believe. So 2018-ish. Wow. That's a crazy series.
Yeah.
I don't have that.
I know. You got FaZe.
As you guys heard me say, I think FaZe they gather all the Infinity Stones because Slasher calls himself Thanos.
See, that's the reason why I think FaZe loses, because Slasher's trash talking Thieves would be.
It's possible. It's possible, but I think this is going to be a 5-3 for the Atlanta FaZe. Just
for the fact of last time they faced each other, there was words that Slasher said that I'm their father.
Yeah.
And then they came out and absolutely smoked them.
True. Yeah.
And
so,
looked like a fool.
But this is champs. This is FaZe. I mean, you have the Tiny Terrors who have never finished outside top 2 in their entire Call of Duty career. You have Celium, who's only placed outside of top 2 once in his career. You have Slasher, who's, I'm pretty sure, won a championship in the past. At least one, if not 2. I mean, they're a team of winners. And I mean, you could say that LA also has a team of winners, but it's more of a recent success. And I mean, I just don't think the Thieves continue their dominance like they did last year. I mean, last year they had a pretty monumental rise at the end of Vanguard, and I just don't think this game plays like that, unfortunately, for them. So yeah, I've got FaZe. Highlander has Thieves. Who do you have at home? Let us know where you agree. Let us know where you disagree. But yeah, I mean, until next time, until next Call of Duty, I guess. We'll see you guys later.
Could be a different COD. Could be the same COD. Who knows what they're going to do with it?
True. That's very true. I mean, a different season then, Until next season of Call of Duty, we won't be doing these videos anymore. Not the predictions, at least. We might have some things, but if you like these prediction videos and you want to hear more from Highlander and I, make sure you check out our podcast. I mean, that's the easiest way to hear all of our takes on esports and sports-related topics. So follow us on Twitch, on YouTube, on Spotify, on any other listening platform that we're on. Everything's in the description below for your convenience. And until next time, people of YouTube, we'll see you next time.